agreed he is here in the studio.
Hi, good morning, listeners. It's great to be in the studio. I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me, Meboni. Thanks to everybody who takes their time to listen to the show. We hope it is becoming more influential day by day.
Yes, thank you so much. Yes, Admire Makarichi is here in the studio now, and we wanted to hear from you. We've been talking now many weeks about getting started,
Yes.
Doing something, identifying an opportunity, and how to go about it, the things to do, and we've been talking a lot on those things.
Yeah.
Now we want today to say, yes, you got started. You did something. You know, whether it is as small as selling snook at the corner, or going house to house showing them that you have snook, or my beloved Corys and JCs, whatever it is that you started to do. It could be bigger than that, and we thank the Lord for it. Now we want to hear a word of encouragement, sharing your story with us and others, so that someone else will be encouraged by your story. Because for it to be great, it has to have started somewhere, and you would have had your own walk to this, to the start of your business and to the maintenance of your business.
Yes.
So let us hear from you. Please call 053-831-2218, 053-831-2218, or our SMS and WhatsApp line 079-964-2182, 079-964-2182. As we say that for our business people this morning,
Yes.
we are saying you have started. We now know that you sell peanuts in front of Home Affairs.
Yeah.
And that is your business.
And you've got your license.
I'm not so sure. Maybe I mustn't talk so loud about that one, because I don't know about the license.
Just in case that
But
guy's listening.
maybe let us ask, do you have a license?
True.
Because you could have just chosen a spot for yourself and you're selling there, and you're not really aware that what you're doing is illegal.
It's illegal. True.
So we would have to ask, do you have a license?
I mean, that's a good question.
Yes.
They say the worst thing is doing the wrong thing and not knowing you're doing the wrong thing.
Yes.
So it's a question we need to ask. I mean, who knows? Maybe our brother from the municipality is tuned in right now. And if we don't mention it, it looks like we are supporting the idea of starting the business in front of the Home Affairs without a license.
Okay. Now, the example I'm using is one that is real, because there is a business like that in front of Home Affairs.
Great.
And he's selling peanuts.
Okay.
I have been a customer there, and the packet is 5 rand.
Okay.
And I said, 5 rand, but he made me understand, Mamike 5 rand.
Okay.
So now I know. And what do we say to someone who has started something like that?
Well, you just made me remember the importance of us bringing such type of business people in the conversation, because the other day I was also passing through, the office of the town planner, and I also saw a guy who had a mini radio and he was listening to Revival FM, and he was busy. I think he was a cobbler, and I remembered what we spoke about in regards with cobblers. So I think it's important. Well, to look into that particular model of business, I think it's a question of, before we even say it's a question of that, remember, the businesses, you need to define the purpose first, the reason behind starting it. So in most cases, people who start those kind of businesses, their mindset is limited to thinking small and starting small and staying small. That is the biggest challenge that we have with those kind of people. I encourage people to start small, but think big. So the problem we have with our people is when they start small, the growth of the business takes longer than they expect, and they begin to get comfortable in the small capacity, and they stop thinking beyond the small level. They stop thinking in going mega, and that affects their growth, and they stay stagnant in the small space. So that's when you might see that when I was still maybe going in high school, the same person who used to sell the peanuts in front of Home Affairs could still be the same person who's selling the same kind of peanuts at the same scale. So those kind of things are what we need to be looking into on how best we can be helping our people. So it's important that if you have, the problem is people also are scared to reach out and to speak, to say, you know what, I've been in front of the Home Affairs for 5 years. That's the biggest problem that we have. And remember, the first solution to solving a problem is understanding that there is a problem.
Yes.
So the moment we don't have anybody who understands that it's not right for them to run the same type of business at the same level to the same customers for more than 5 years, then, or even a year, it shows that your business is stagnant.
Okay. What are potentially some of the things to look out for, or things that, let us say now, this is a new business. I just saw it this week, last week.
Yes.
So I don't think what we're saying now holds for them.
Okay.
But let us suppose, there are many such that I know of. There's a lady who also sells sweets and peanuts and fruit. Same size shop, because I call them shops, these on the pavements. That same size shop, but it's been years and she's been in that space all that time.
All right.
What are the potential things that could be hampering the growth of the business? Because it is a business.
Okay.
Because I often get the impression that we call it a business once there's a shop and there's a door to lock.
True.
When it doesn't have to have
a structure
for it to be a business that you take seriously.
Yes, remember, business is simply offering service and getting value for it. So, in answering your question, here is what I think is acting as a limiting factor to the growth of the business that is being operated at a smaller scale. You have customers who are loyal and customers who are satisfied. Those are two different things.
Okay.
So the problem we have in modern day culture is that if I know Meboni sells peanuts in front of Home Affairs, I'm going to come and buy, not because her peanuts are necessarily nice, but because I'm going to spend the whole week not buying even one packet. I'm going to feel bad because I know Meboni. You get the sense? So there's a difference in me coming because your product is good and me coming because I know you.
And
I want to support you.
Even just saying I want to support.
True. So that's the other thing. So you see, a lot of people tend to get too comfortable because now okay, I know the guys at Revival FM, maybe 5 people are going to buy per week, So that helps me to know that I have money to buy bread for 5 days in a week, So that alone demotivates the growth of the business because you're getting too comfortable. You're not going out to look to say, how can I better my product for more people to come and buy? How can I better my service for more people to be attracted? There's a difference between a customer who is loyal and a customer who is satisfied. Let's strive to get customers satisfied more than they are loyal. Loyal customers will come whether it's good or bad, and they will never sit you down to tell you that this product is not good, I'm not coming back. But a satisfied customer has got the right to give you their thought and feedback, to say, you know what, you're making the best peanuts in town.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, we have a call on the line. Revival FM, good morning. We are good, thank you. How are you? Who are we talking to? Yes.
Hi Robson, how are you? I'm great. How's your business going? Oh, you're calling from Johannesburg. Thank you for reaching out all the way from Johannesburg.
Thank you. Yes, it's good to know that that is as far as we are.
Oh, okay. By the way, Rabson is the guy I was telling you who started a business in shades, making the shades.
Okay.
Yes. No, the business is going great. I think it's a conversation that we can have, just not to drive ourselves away from the core business of the topic that we are having currently.
Okay. Okay, what we are saying here this morning, you who are already in business,
what are your challenges?
Whatever it is, how is it going? Do you have a word of encouragement for another person who has started, who wants to start, or who is having their challenges?
Yes.
Or you can choose to rather tell us what your challenges are. But we're wanting business people to just comment on the program and talk about their growth and their path.
Yes. So what is it that you've done that can help other business people maybe in that way?
It would have to be on the internet.
Through live streaming.
Do the live streaming. Yes.
True.
Makes sense.
Because of your age. Well, let me answer you in a smart way. When I started my first business, I was 19. Age was a limiting factor, but here is what makes people accept you: your level of professionalism and the service you provide. If you are offering quality service,
and the reliability,
age is never going to be a limiting factor to you. I don't know if it makes sense to you.
And what we're wanting to also achieve with this program is that others now begin to look at business people, whether you are even a street vendor.
Yes.
That others begin to see the business that you see, and that we begin to support each other. If
True.
I can buy my JC from you, why would I buy it from the shop?
Exactly.
And this is part of what we're wanting to achieve with this conversation.
Yes. And what we're saying is, don't let us come to do business with you because we know you. Let us come to do business with you because the quality of your service is good. Loyalty over satisfaction.
And we also with the black person who's listening, who's in business.
Yes.
We also need to cross over from thinking that because it's black, it's not good quality.
Yes. You made me remember, I spoke about this last weekend. Let's not sell skin color in terms of business. Let's not be biased about BEE. BEE is there to help us, but not to make us get the wrong idea.
Yes.
Let's not run because it's black.
BEE must give us an advantage.
Yes.
But it won't be the reason I stay there.
Exactly.
I won't be loyal just because of BEE.
Yes, I understand. I hope you've been answered your question.
Yes. Oh, yes.
All right. Thank you so much for your call.
Much. So, bye-bye. Yes, the challenge that was raised by the caller now, I think is a real one. Even I can imagine that the younger you are, the less serious you are taken.
True, that's true.
But you must be the one who makes people take you seriously.
That's the point I was trying to raise. You see, I think age is actually working as an advantage to business people, because you are young. People would be like, you know what? Let's give fresh blood an opportunity.
Yes.
Let's see what he's got to offer. There is a lot of innovation that is taking place, and in most cases, with new people coming into the industry, that's how the new ideas are coming in. I mean, what difference are you going to get from somebody who's been doing something for 15 years, 20 years?
Yes.
So give an opportunity to somebody that's new. That's how it's working as an advantage to us. I'm not saying starting a business when you're not young is wrong. It's very good. But it all goes back to the quality of service. Are we being attracted because you're giving us quality service, or we are coming because we know you, we're being loyal?
I think the older person, if I stood there in the street corner and I was selling JC,
yes,
people would probably buy because it was boring.
Yes.
So let us do so.
You actually made me remember what I saw.
But that is just the beginning of it.
Yes.
If my quality of service does not improve going forward, you will run a big circle around me and you won't come to buy from
That's true. You made me remember of this picture I saw the other day on it was on Facebook, I think, on social media. I saw a picture of a lady who was selling tomatoes and your street vendors rather. Yes, and she had a child who was sleeping, So as the child was sleeping, she also fell asleep while they're selling. That means they've been there for some time, So the caption of the picture said, when you see them, just buy not because you want to. You are buying because you're helping somebody who's in a situation.
And who's making a plan about
exactly.
it.
So I think that's where other people also lose it. Don't let us buy because of your situation and all that. Let us buy because of the quality of service. I think that way you would be giving us something to look up to. Yeah.
But I mean, if you're sleeping on the job, you're sleeping on the job. And I'm not going to support because you are not taking your own business seriously.
Of course. I get your point.
Yes, okay. The other thing that I think we must talk about whilst we We hope waiting on the callers here. And if you are only just tuning in now, we're talking about the person who has already started
The business.
the business. So now you've started the business, and we're saying, what encouragement can you give another business person, or what challenges do you have? And let's talk about what you have already started.
Yes.
Because we've been talking about plans for too long now.
Yes. I mean, I have a quote that I did write the other day. It says, the grass still continues to grow in the presence of cattle. So you need to continue to grow even in the midst of your fears. So as a business person, irregardless of the competition that you have, not taking into consideration some of your challenges, you need to focus on your growth. It's important for you to be able to know how to grow.
Yes. We have an SMS here, or a message here, and it says, hello Mama, just wanted to ask how long will the water be off? Thank you. Now where is this water off? And I don't know who's listening. And then please just give me more information, and then I can run the inquiry for you better.
Yes.
Yes. So when we came here onto the program this morning, we were saying that in the past we were giving tips and things about what people must do. But we did now get stuck, or if stuck is the right word,
Yes.
wanting to say, how do we grow from, because remember we are saying, here you are qualified, you've done whatever training, you have your matric, but you are not getting any response for the CVs that you have dropped.
Yes.
So now, and even in the week on the program, The Next Level, we did have people who said, I've been qualified, I left school so many years ago, I've been dropping CVs, and so we are now past that one. But we want you to start with something that will not require a lot of capital.
Yes.
And whether my peanuts example is a good one, I don't know, but I'd like to stay with that one a while. Because now you have a little tray or a little box of peanuts that you are selling. They could even be in a Checkers plastic.
Yes.
So now, but then this one interestingly has a nice little tray, and the peanuts are displayed beautifully there. And you buy once and you realize these are very nicely prepared peanuts.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm wondering, 2-3 batches of peanuts later, because it is important that what you are going to do with the money that you now generate with the sales of the peanuts. Because if this all goes to buy bread and taxi fare and roll on, there's no money to now buy more peanuts.
Which is why we say you need to define the purpose of being there, because now how you invest the money that you've currently generated, if you are trying to build a long-lasting business, is totally different from how you invest the money you get from sales when you are living to put food on the table.
Okay.
That's why people are getting it wrong.
I think we must just stop on that, because there's the hand to mouth.
Yes.
Where you are selling so that you can eat.
Yes.
But then there's the why I'm doing, or what is it that I'm actually doing.
Yes.
Yes, I believe you must give yourself a salary.
Yes.
And
that's true.
at the beginning you can't earn 1,000 rand if the business is,
which is where the problem is.
Okay. Won't you just speak to that problem?
Well, here's what I'm saying. When we're growing up, let me take you back to Zimbabwe in your 2012, 13. Okay, 2007, 8, maybe.
Okay.
There's a time when things were quite hectic, right?
Yes.
And what you would find is, if a mother is selling tomatoes on the street, she's not trying to run a fruit and veg in the future. That's not her mindset. Her mindset is to try and just sell these tomatoes quickly, get money, go and pay for the school fees, because maybe the father has been retrenched, right? But the problem with our people is that we want to take that model and apply it, and at the same time we want to have a thought in mind to say, I want to run a long-lasting business. I had a conversation with somebody a couple of days ago who asked me, how do I start a business? The first question I ask you nowadays, if you have a conversation with me based on developing a business, is what is the reason why you want to start? Most people will tell you, I want to put food on the table, and at the same time I want to leave a legacy. And my answer is no, you can't have it too. You can't have it.
You can't have
both. It's either you work on building a long-lasting legacy, and if you say that's what you want to do, my next question is, are you prepared to run for the next 6 months without getting profit from it, but while you are investing money? You know, that's when we can see. Because remember, we're not necessarily saying for you to build a legacy, you need to start a business and run for 6 months without money, then you start. No, that's not what we're saying. But what we're saying is you need to be able to run, not expecting. Your business needs to be able. You need to be able to sustain yourself while the business is running. At the same time, while you're feeding money into it. So in other words, don't rush and have the idea of taking money out. That's why I'm saying if that mother in 2008 in Zimbabwe sold her tomatoes, she's not expected to take that money and go and design a banner written "We sell tomatoes here." No, she's expected to take money and pay school fees. That's her intention. You know, she doesn't need to apply
which is fine.
Exactly. She doesn't need to do regalia for her company. She doesn't need to actually go to CIPC to register the company. No, she's just trying to put food on the table. Yeah.
And therefore it becomes, why are you in business?
Yes.
Good morning, Revival. You're on air. Good morning, mommy. Yeah. Admire now missed on the Afrikaans, and I think it's such a beautiful story, I must tell you. Ellen is saying that she was working as a domestic for many years, but in that time she had 2 days where she was now able to do her own thing. So in that 2 days she would now push a trolley with bones, and so she still sold bones, got sorted herself out with license, and eventually was also able to get herself a car. And
that's great.
And with that, she was able to now she's at home. Her husband works, and she works in the ministry, where she gets some remuneration. But the money of the business was kept in the business, and that money bought her the car, the license that she has, and she now has a tuck shop also. And she's saying that the discipline there was the paper money she used to buy stock with, she put back into the business, and all the coins she saved. And from the saving of the coins, she was able to do these other things.
Wait a second. You said she was a house helper.
Yes.
And she started a business from being a house helper.
While she was having the sideline.
Yes. So during her off days,
yes,
that's when she was getting into the business.
Yes.
Okay. And now she started a criteria where she was saying all the coins that the business gets is what she uses, and she saves the paper money.
Yes.
Great, interesting story for other house helpers there.
Absolutely. We have a call on the line. I'll have to ask you to just hold it, because we are about to go into the news, and please call back after the news. But I think this is what we're talking about.
Yes.
But she does speak of, and she says here that she also ensured that she gave her 10th to the church.
To the church,
because that is the blessing she wanted on the business.
True.
And I think major lessons to learn here from Ellen, and the things what I support. You know, I see in this person someone who's not sitting at home watching TV and not knowing what to do. They're doing something.
Wow.
And before I forget, because I nearly did, the significant thing is that for me tomorrow morning, this vendor must be sitting there.
Yeah.
You know, not that now tomorrow you'll come at 12, another day you come at 3:30, or you choose not to come at all. You know, if this is a business, it has operating hours. You too will be there 7:30 when people pass. They must buy your peanuts and take them to the office.
Yes.
Because otherwise, then you are not serious about your own business.
Yeah. Well, you actually touched on a part that I wanted to touch on. There is what we call inconsistency in business.
Yeah.
That is the main reason why you see someone like me not preferring to rather support a person who's starting up on the street. Here is one. If I go on the street, right? In most cases, this person is going to tell you you're buying tomatoes, right? They'll end up telling you, no, akna plastiki. You know, those inconsistency is not good. You are starting, but try to start on a level where you can accommodate everyone. Be able to start and accommodate the guy who's passing through and driving a Range Rover. Be able to accommodate a guy who's coming in a taxi and is buying while the taxi is on the traffic light.
Yes.
Be able to accommodate somebody who's walking, who's going home on foot. So if you give me tomatoes and onions and everything without giving me a plastic bag, how am I going to carry it?
Yes.
and maybe I'm walking. So that's where the problem is with the people who start up. They tend to forget to professionalize their products, their businesses. You know, some of them, it comes back to hygiene. That's why you end up some people preferring to say, you know what, I'd rather just go to OBC. I'd rather just go to a certain place. It's important that we don't ignore professionalism and inconsistency. Yes.
Because you must take yourself seriously so
For
that
us to take you serious.
can take you seriously.
Very true.
Okay.
Quite profound.
Yes, the time now is 12:15.
Yes.
And we unfortunately must say goodbye to Admire, and the